Hello, friends. This is Tony Dizant, space rocker of the planet Earth, back with another live streaming video today. Where Memorial Day is over, and we're on the short week right now. The short week after Memorial Day. Hope everybody got home safe. For anybody that's getting in there, this is Tony Dizant, space rocker of the planet Earth, and today it's gonna be an interesting one. So you want to get on it and you want to stay on it because the theme for today, or the subject for today, is gonna be senseless acts of cowardness. Senseless acts of cowardness. And of course, if you stick around, I'm gonna give you the scoop on what it means. Senseless acts of cowardness. That's the title and the theme for today. And I'm gonna be explaining that in a little bit, not without going over the superficial entertaining news, the ones that they want you to hear, the ones that they want you to entertain you with. Some people call them the fake news. And so let's start with that. They said that the ex-president trial is on final deliberations. Final deliberations. What that means? That just means the trial is basically over. Okay? Final deliberations. Basically, everybody wins on this one. The people that were on the trial defending, the people that were on the trial accusing, and the people that were accused. Everybody in this trial benefited from this trial monetarily. And I explain. The ex-president lawyer that went to jail because he did something wrong, supposedly, and he covered up some things, is such of a liar that they're saying that because he was a liar, he cannot be trusted. But then again, he's going to benefit because he said that he's not over telling the truth about what his Xbox boss did. So he's all he has book deals, $1 million book deals, and he got movies, he's got everything coming to him because he's on a revenge of making the ex-president look bad while the ex-president might get elected. But the ex-president is on to some other things up and running because he's got a campaign to run, and of course he cannot be put in jail because he's an ex-president. And of course, even if he gets put in jail, he said he'll win. So what does all this tells you right here? It's just entertainment. It's just they just making you believe stuff that, getting you excited about nothing. Because they're saying, oh, he's going to go to jail. Oh, no, oh. So now the guy cannot be trusted. Yeah, but he's going to be trusted making books. People going to buy the books. He already got the money, though. He's going to get the money ahead of time for people to make the book. And they hope the book sells. They hope the movie sells. Like I said, the defense, the prosecution, the prosecutors, everybody in this circus made money. And that's what you have to see. Okay? They keep you entertained. At the same time, all these billionaires, millionaires, they keep making money by keeping us entertained with lies. Okay? Entertained with lies, deceits, and just basically chaos. But we don't have anything else to do. So, oh, we got to talk about it. Okay, enough of that. So, the trial is over. There's a campaign to run. There's two candidates. And that's all I have to say about that. Now, let's go into the theme for today. The theme for today. The title of this video. Senseless acts of cowardness. This all started back in the day. Okay? And of course, the hip hop community were telling a story back in the early 90s, late 80s, possibly early 80s, late 70s. They were telling their story. 40 years later, now their story is coming to life. Okay? And the hip hoppers, the urban rappers that survive all this violence and all this chronicle that they were, all those stories they were telling us, and some of them had to die. They were telling us the truth. They were telling us what they knew was real on the streets. But no, you found it entertaining. So they went on the street and they sold millions and millions of records. Back then when you could sell records. And now they're billionaires, the ones that survived. But some of them had to pay the ultimate price. Some of the hip hoppers got into feuds, the East and the West, and the South, and the North, and this and that. And they had to, some of them died. And the ones that died, I guess, they were still telling the truth. They were saying there are senseless acts of cowardness, violence on the streets of the United States, especially in the big cities. The big cities, and now it's going around and it's going to the little cities as well. But if you live in a big city and you live on those massive metropolis, you are bound to all these senseless acts of violence, senseless acts of cowardness. And why? That's happening because two things. The explanation that the hip hop urban community gave us back then, they were talking about blank the police, or all those feuds with the police and the violence and the abuse and all those things that happen. They had to happen. And they were telling us a story. They were telling us what was going on. Then the video games came along. And of course, late 90s, 2000s, video games started getting more real, more sophisticated. And there was one in particular called, and I want to mention the name because they already mentioned it on the news. I'm not mentioning anything that I don't. Nobody else mentioned already. So, Grand Theft Auto, that turned into carjackings. Carjackings day and night. Let's go and take somebody out of the car, and let alone, if they resist, they can get killed. But if they don't resist, you take the car. It's your car because you carjacked it. But all this behavior was learned by the youngsters that were playing the video games. And now they took it a step further and they making it happen for real. And it's not only the youngsters, it's the youngsters and the adults. Both. It doesn't matter. If you want to be a criminal in the United States of America, you can always be a criminal. Why? Because there's been senseless acts of cowardness since back in the day. The only thing is that in the 70s, 80s, only some people saw it because there weren't enough cameras on people back then. But in today's day, that everything happens in real time, and there's cameras everywhere, and there's phones that can grab you at anywhere at any time. Now, even the police, the law authority, have on cameras that they can turn on and off depending on what they want to do. So I'm talking to exactly the people that understand this. Senseless acts of cowardness. Recently, there was an incident that shouldn't have happened, and there was a senseless act of cowardness. And my prayers go out to the family. I'm not going to mention any names, but we all know it was on the news, and it's a big time celebrity um, that was being robbed, and because he wanted to defend himself and somebody took his life. And it takes somebody that big, that known, to be to reach the real news, because these are things that happen every single day and we don't see it. Senseless acts of cowardness. Why? Because there's no reason for this. There's no reason for this. And of course, the worst people that are vulnerable to this are the older generation and the younger generation, either as a victim or as a doer, because you could be in either side of it, or you can be on both sides, because sometimes you want to be the cop and the robber. That's another story right there, because that has to do with police corruption, but there's always that too. Okay, so you got the robbers here, the cops here, and the ones that want to do the right thing and want to protect us, and you also have the ones that are in the middle and want to be on both sides. So endless senseless acts of cowardness. Senseless acts of cowardness. Why? Why are we having this? My heart goes out to all the people that that are in those big cities, and they feel like they can't even go out of their house because, especially like the older generation, they are scared to go out, scared to go to the store, scared to just go outside because there's so many of them that even the law enforcement cannot handle it. There's too many of them, and they outnumber the law. So if you're listening to this for the first time, this is the Space Rocker of the Planet Earth channel. I talk about different things on this channel, especially I talk about the real news and the not so real news, the fake news. I also do entertaining videos. Right now I'm doing entertaining videos with playing pool, something that, you know, is very family oriented, you could say. And of course I also have music videos that you could see there, and I'm starting to do these lives talking about the real news and the not so real news and the issues that happen here in the United States of America. And why do they happen? And why are people so blind and so eye blind to it? And they don't open their eyes because it's hidden from most of the population. Even though, like I said, the hip hop community was telling us this since day one, what was happening on the streets, and we took it in, and we saw it as entertainment. But this is not entertainment. This is the real deal. What's happening right now in the streets of America is not pretty. And you have to open your eyes and see it for what it is. Senseless acts of cowardness. Yeah, you heard me. If you take a gun and you kill an innocent person, you are a coward. That's all you are. That's all I gotta say about that. Senseless acts of cowardness. And with this one, I want to say hi to everybody. I want to say hi to all the people around the world that follow my music and follow my videos. I know who you are, and I really appreciate it. I wish I had better news for all of you out there, but no. What's happening here in the United States is real. And like they joke around, but it's the struggle on the streets is real. And the senseless acts of violence and cowardness from all these criminals is very real. So open your eyes, people. Open your eyes. It starts with you. Peace starts with you. This is Tony Dizant, space rocker of the planet Earth, still living in this beautiful planet called Earth. Today with the message of senseless acts of cowardness. If you're a criminal and you kill an innocent person, you're a coward. I'll see you on my next video.